Welcome back everybody, thanks for joining me for a bit more of a general discussion about Ghost Recon Wildlands future content and a bit of a breakdown of the Q&A. Ubisoft have just done this session where they asked us to ask them questions and the team responded. I'll put a link in the description as there's loads of questions on there. I haven't gone through all of them, but I've pulled out the important bits. They've also answered a lot of questions about what we should expect from the game post Fallen Ghosts and some tweaks they're looking to make. So Fallen Ghosts DLC drops on the 30th of May for Season Pass holders and the 6th of June to purchase separately. And it's orientated around the ghosts evacuating Bolivia. There's an elite unit called Los Extrañeros which are hunting us down. This is essentially the end of our mission in Bolivia. So where does that leave us with this game? Well, this week we had the last week of Season 1 with the Yeti Challenge. Now this has also been confirmed that the hunt is over. This was a great community challenge, everybody got their teeth stuck into it, and it was fantastic to see everybody searching for the clues. Of course, it has now been confirmed. Carbon Meister asked, since we already found El Yeti, is it safe to confirm that the Yeti hunt is over, or is there more? Now, Lucas Bonin, who is a live associate producer, responded, if you have already completed this week's challenge, then yes, the hunt is over. We hope you like this Easter egg. We added it to the game following community conversations. So we know that this Easter egg is resolved, but it should be noted that El Yeti was added to the game following the community conversations and does not appear to have been part of the original plan, in my opinion. This is great that they took the community response and added it to the game in some way. In respect of new content, Lucas Bonin did also respond to Arad175's question of, are there going to be any more mini DLCs like the Peruvian Connection, Unidad Conspiracy or El Yeti? Now his response, the Peruvian Connection and Unidad Conspiracy, ULCs, were part of the Season Pass. We are not planning on adding more content to the Season Pass. However, more events like the Yeti could happen in the future through weekly challenges. So we know that these Easter egg type events will be tied into the weekly challenges at some point, even if the community manages to figure it out before it's intended, like people on the Xbox did with El Yeti. On the note of the season challenges, it appears that we will have to wait for Season 2. Pretty Boy 0683, original name, well done. The weekly challenges are great. How long will they be available in the game and will the rewards get better over time? Lucas Bonin also responded, glad to know you like the weekly challenges. The challenges reset every week. Please read our dedicated article for more info. We are currently working on an improved Season 2 and we'll let you know in due time. Now this sounds to me like we're going to be waiting a little while before Season 2 does get kicked off. But it does sound like they have listened to us, so it does look like they're aiming to improve this. They did mention that they are looking at setting difficulty levels and restricting certain HUD elements which will make it more challenging for players. So they want to give us more of a challenge. For those of you that play on Extreme, there is a new difficulty level which is about to land and it's going to give us our fiercest challenge to date. This new mode will allow you to surpass the level 30 cap and enjoy the game with an increased difficulty and new rewards. That sounds really good. I'm looking forward to getting my teeth stuck into that as I've now gone through and been playing it on Extreme, but still feel like there's a bit more of a challenge in there. But I do think it's time that we clarified something here. Now, Astral Sailor asked, are Season Pass holders going to get anything after Fallen Ghosts? Now, Nordine Aboud, who is the senior producer, responded, the Season Pass not only contains Narco Road and Fallen Ghosts, but also exclusive content such as several Ghost Packs, an exclusive vehicle, currency pack and a permanent XP booster, as well as the Peruvian Connection and Unidad Conspiracy sets of missions. We are not planning to add new content to it. So, if you've purchased the Season Pass, that's all you're getting now. Once Fallen Ghost has dropped, there's nothing more that's going to be added or any early free access. So we're just going to have to wait and see what they do, if they're going to add any more additional DLCs or if they're going to add a Season Pass 2. Now, Suicide Shadow asked, with the game, whether played solo or co-op, the story does eventually come to an end, and DLCs such as Narco Road and the upcoming Fallen Ghost will only have so much longevity. Are there plans for a Wildlands 2, or will there be a Year 2 Season Pass with more DLC? Now Nordine responded with, we are excited to hear that fans want to see more content. However, we are unable to answer this question at this time. Now to me, it sounds like they don't have anything set in stone, and Ubisoft will of course be looking at what has happened to the player base since the release. They're also of course going to be looking at how they're going to keep the player base playing the game. And looking at the situation, let's be frank, there's a lot of people which have put the game down and don't know if they're going to even return. So of course it's down to Ubisoft to keep the game fresh, keep it up to date, but also make it rewarding. On the note of updating the game, it's been clarified how expansions are going to work. It's clear that each part of the game is going to be kept separate. Now, lots of people have asked, will we be seeing integration of new enemies, clothing, weapons, skills from Fallen Ghost to the main game? Benjamin Jamaz, he is the Narco Road and Fallen Ghost content director, responded that due to the structure of the expansions in the main game, this is not planned. The vision behind the Ghost Recon Wildlands expansion was to offer a new take on the original Wildlands approach in a separate experience. Narco Road puts you in the action movie scene, while Fallen Ghost is dedicated to more hardcore gameplay in a tense atmosphere. Now, that's more than enough to know that the base game will not change or have new features added. They're just looking to polish and fix up the bugs. They'll add in a new difficulty mode and will continue with the season challenges, but that's about as much as it seems to be in the main game. A few people have asked, will we get some new weapons or attachments? Mahaya Zorka, apologies if I've pronounced that incorrectly, but as advised, Ghost Recon Wildlands already offers more than 50 weapons and more than 100 different attachments, allowing millions and millions of combinations. We are not planning on adding new weapons or attachments to the main game. So there's your answer. We've got enough guns and combinations to deal with it, essentially. The base game, the main game, is going to stay the same. We're just going to get a new difficulty level, and of course these season challenges are going to give us rewards within that game. Whether they're going to be new weapons, it looks very unlikely. Now, one thing, of course, which has frustrated quite a few people is the flying vehicle controls. So a lot of people asked if they're improving the flying vehicle controls. Eric Kuzian, who is a creative director, responded, "We know some players requested that we improve our vehicle controls. Since launch, a part of the dev team has been working on improving the flying vehicle controls. We are excited to reveal that we will be able to implement new control options in a future patch." So this could be good news for some people who have been struggling with their vehicle mechanics, but when that patch will drop is unknown, and of course is it a little bit too late. Now answered a few things that have bugged some players, such as Alpha Blue Light. When parachuting, why can't we use our weapon before landing? Eric Kuzian, simply because the classical way of controlling your parachute is with both hands. Failing your landing could hinder the rest of the mission. And of course we do see this in the game that our ghost is holding the two handles to control his parachute. Alpha Blue Light also asked, why don't we have the same cover system we had in Ghost Recon Future Soldier? Eric's response was, the reality of the Wildlands map actually restrains a lot of the way you can implement a cover system. With Ghost Recon Wildlands, we did not want to assist the player in their move from cover to cover. We wanted them to feel the real tension of the special operations, who needs to think of a strategy before taking action rather than improvise during a fight. This is quite evident, and I'll be honest, I quite like the movement system in Wildlands. In terms of customization, lots of people are asking, are you planning to have vehicles or AI teammates customizable? Now they've come out, Lucas Bonin has said the community team has already shared those feature requests with us, but these are not part of our current development plan. Twigs D asked, any plans to add preset loadouts, equipment, weapons, clothing and camos at a click of a button? Tom Isaacson, lead character artist, says, for now you can already have up to 6 preset outfits. We are not planning to add your equipment to the preset details. So basically you just got to keep changing your guns on the fly in the loadout. Tracy D698 asked, are you guys going to be adding sniper wraps for skins at all? Tom Isaacson comes back saying this is a nice suggestion but is not part of our current development plan. So even despite the cool skin wrap that we had on the sniper in a lot of the images, it's not in development. So again, we're stuck with what skins we've got and what paints we've got on the guns. Templar Snake asked any plans or hints that we will be getting berets, green please, and blouse boots for our ghost. Vivian C, I'm going to call her because I've got no chance of pronouncing that. She says, the only thing we can tell you for now is that we will be able to add one of the two for you. So which one we're getting, I don't know, but I would expect it to be a beret. So that's something for all of you customising lovers out there to think about. When it boils down to it though, how a developer interacts and communicates with their player base is important. The question that was asked was, would it be possible to post planned updates as you are making them, so we know what happens in the upcoming patches, like private beta environment patch notes in other games. Communicating with the player base is important. Now this is very important, and Lucas Bonham come back saying, we totally agree on the importance of communicating with the player base. We are willing to give you more visibility on when the future updates arrive. However, as there are many last minute changes, we prefer keeping the patch details for when the patch is live. We are going to study how we could implement a private beta environment structure. And secondly, is there any plan for the developers to be more involved with the community? Now, Emma Delage, who is the community developer advisor, involving the developers with the community is exactly what we are trying to do with this Q&A. In terms of weekly updates, we update our known issue list almost on a weekly basis, and the community team is here to answer your questions and share with you news from the dev team every time we can. For more information about upcoming content, have a look at the roadmap we shared above. That brings us to the roadmap. So we can see the game's release and subsequent updates. Title Update 2 brought in Season 1 of the challenges, Title Update 3 was for Narco Road, and now Title Update 4 is for Fallen Ghosts. We have the new game mode for the base game coming, Season 2 of challenges, and PvP. All of these should be launched as a title update. PvP is coming this summer. They are currently thinking about their delivery plan and going to share with us more details when they have them. So hopefully by September we should have a PvP element in the game. Let's just hope it's not too late by then. Realistically, the way that I'm looking at it is if they want to keep people playing the game, they need to put in PvP ASAP. Fallen Ghost will keep people playing for maybe a few weeks whilst they complete it. The Season 2 of the challenges and a new game mode needs to follow quickly after to fill the gap until PvP. Beyond PvP and the season challenges, who knows if we're going to get any more additional game content. I don't include cosmetic gear as game content. I want something to challenge me or something to do. Now, of course, PvP can hold the game. Many games out there which are held solely by their PvP element. Now, fingers crossed, this does come to us soon, but I also hope with the additional time that they've had since release, they've tuned it, they've refined it, and they've made it good. If they've had all this additional time and release an inferior product, I will quickly see the player base disappearing, and sadly, that could be the end of Ghost Recon Wildlands. But fingers crossed, they'll get it right, it will give us a good challenge, a lot of fun, but also very tactical, as this game should be. Hopefully, they will continue to develop this title into the great game that it can be. But for now, the countdown is on for Fallen Ghost on the 30th May, and I'll be set and ready to bring you all of the intel that I can. So, thank you for joining me, especially if you've made it all the way to this point in the video. I've never really rabbited on this much, and I hope that, of course, all this kind of info just gives you a bit more insight onto where this game is going. But for now, of course, let me know your thoughts below in the comments. It's always great to hear from you, and I try to respond to you as often as I can. But until next time, take care.